The new United States Professional Volleyball League bursts onto the scene. Today you'll see some of the world's finest women volleyball players in action as the United States, represented by the USPV Stars, faces an outstanding team from Japan in the first ever USPV Millennium Cup. We're just outside Chicago, Illinois in beautiful Rosemont. We welcome you to the All-State Arena for the Royal Neighbors of America USPV Millennium Cup, presented by Ball Girl Athletic. Hi again, everybody, and welcome. I'm Chris Marlowe. The United States Professional Volleyball League set to begin play in January of 2001. As a precursor to that launch date, the USPV has organized its own dream team, a group of 25 women that have been playing and training since last summer. Now, for the purpose of this event, the Dream Team has been split into two separate squads, the Stars and the Stripes. And together with two international teams, Japan and Poland, they've been traveling together, playing against each other in round-robin competition for about a week now. How have they done? Let's check the results. The USPV Stars are undefeated at 3-0. They are in our final. Japan at 1-2. Yes, the Japanese are in the final via their win over a very strong Poland team. So it's the Stars against Japan. For more on this matchup, let's go over to my partner, Heather Cox.
Chris, the USPV Stars and Japan are battling for ownership of this, the first ever USPV Millennium Cup trophy. And they're doing it with two drastically opposing styles. The United States, their game is all about power and height at the net. For Japan, they may be small, but they win with quickness and deception. Now, with the new scoring format, the go-to dominant position has been the outside hitter. For the United States, that's been Sarah Silvernail. The All-American middle blocker has switched positions and has been the go-to player for the USPV on the outside. In fact, she had 35 kills in a qualifying match last night. Watch her from all areas of the court. Now for Japan, the player has been Mayumi Saito. In fact, one of the most experienced competitive players in the world. She's crafty, she's deceptive. She's been on the Japanese national team until 1989. In fact, played for current USPV coach Ari Sellinger in Japan. Saito is tough to defend. She hits at a very high point, is a mobile, crafty player, and just a seasoned competitor. So, Chris, with the Americans tied at the net play certainly crucial in this matchup tonight.
The USPV format is unique to the sport of volleyball. 2 out of 3 sets makes a match. You have to win 2 out of 3 games to win a set. 30-point games, you must win by 2, and it's all rally scoring. And Heather, there is a way you can score 2 points on one play.
Right, the bonus attack is being used. It's similar to a 3-point shot in basketball. Because of the high degree of difficulty, the reward is greater. 2 points are awarded for any kill from a front row or back row player that's hit behind the 10-foot line.
Let's take a look at the lineups. First for Japan, Sane Tsubakimoto is on the right side. Reiko Suzuki, Mitsu Yamaguchi are the middle blockers. Mayumi Saito, Elika Hashimoto are the outside hitters. Yukiko Uchida is the setter, and Miyo Yoshida is the libero, the designated defender. For the USPV Stars, Lindsay Anderson starts on the right, and Eastman, Christy Chapman are in the middle. Sarah Silvernail and Therese Crawford, the strength of the team, on the outside. Jen Flynn is the setter. Addie Hochschild is the libero. The head man for Japan is Takanao Masada. He is assisted by Hiroshi Matsumoto. And for the United States, a very familiar name, Dr. Ari Sellinger, led the United States women to the silver medal back in 1984. The USPV Stars meeting Japan. They've already played once in the round-robin competition, and the USPV Stars handled Japan rather easily, but there was some conjecture amongst American coaches that Japan was not focusing on that match. They were focusing on the match against Poland, one they needed to get into the championship final.
Another reason Japan may have been a little bit weaker in that match is they just arrived in the United States on Saturday following a very rough, grueling league season schedule that they finished on Friday. So it's taken them a couple days to acclimate not only to being in the States, but also to the new scoring format.
The USPV Stars will serve first. This is Jen Flynn, the former setting star from Ohio State. We're underway. And the first point will go to the United States. Once again, if you're new to volleyball, it is rally scoring, point per play, much like ping pong.
Exactly, and it takes a little bit of the risk out. That's why Jen Flynn's top spin is one that she wants to get in rather than go for the ace.
Set left side, here comes Saito. She is by far Japan's best player. Japan wants to keep the rally alive. The United States wants to play the termination game. If they can, whip it out to Saito. And Saito's rejected. Look at the Japanese cover. Jen Flynn, back set, nobody there. It's dug up again. Can Japan play defense? Yes, they can. Another coverage. Back to Saito. And Saito puts it away.
And that's what the Japan team has been known for since the early 60s, is their incredible defense without a blocker up, still able to keep it alive. Incredible coverage as well. They will score points on their scrappiness.
1-1 in a game to 30. Left side, another dig by Japan. Saito for the put away. Coming back over. Back set, right side. Ball dug by the Americans. Americans, an underrated defensive team. USPV been working hard on defense under coach Ari Selinger. Longer the rally goes, better for Japan.
Oh, I definitely favor Japan. They will keep the ball alive, force the Americans to make the mistake.
And the Americans get it back over. Who's going to win the first really long rally? Americans have it up. Scooped up front line. Crawford plays it over. Free ball Japan. They should score. Whip it to Saito, and she does.
The United States knows that the ball is going outside to Saito about 80% of the time. With the new scoring format and the bonus attack, they will set her in the front court and the back court.
Saito's first kill. Japan leading here in game one. It's to 30, 2-1. Flynn saves it left side. Saito rejected. And I think that's what the USPV Stars have to do, Heather, is overpower the Japanese.
Right, they've got the physical prowess, especially at the net blocking. Watch the way Chapman closes with Crawford. You notice a little lineup change. Crawford blocking on the right side of the court. Lindsay Anderson playing on the left.
2-2, make it 3-2. As the Stars go back on top. Therese Crawford is 6'2". She's 23 years old, a former Hawaii star. Played under Dave Shoji on the islands. Tremendous athlete. Into the middle, and the ball is put away.
And Chris, that's something that the Japanese would like to do throughout this entire match, and that's run a very quick, sophisticated offense, try and beat the Americans to the block by using combos, a lot of decoys.
Here is Mayumi Saito.
That play's legal. Let serve is in.
And Japan gets a block. Number 14 is Yukiko Uchida. She's the setter, and she's only 5'6", Heather, but she gets up.
And anytime they can score a point on a block is huge. They actually beat Poland by getting just one block to Poland's 16. So blocking certainly not a part of Japan's strategy.
Once again, game one is to 30 points. Win by 2, rally scoring. Christy Chapman out of the University of Illinois serving. Quick set, Japan trying to establish the middle. USPV Stars rolling it over the top. You won't see many balls drop on Japan. Kozumi, did she get a touch? She did.
And that's a high hands maneuver, and that's exactly, as a smaller player, what you want to do against a big, formidable block. Either find the seam. If there isn't a seam, you've got to go high hands, get that touch.
Kozumi with her first kill. Yamaguchi with the serve, and out of the back line. Let's see, is that a 2-pointer? No, just a 1-pointer. Once again, if you hit out of the back row, out of the back zone, behind the 3-meter line, you'll receive 2 points on any scoring play. Kozumi, it's out. So Iko Koizumi, a surprise starter, hits the ball out. USPV on top, 6-5. Anderson with the serve. Back set. Tsubakimoto is blocked. Uchida back to Tsubakimoto, and she wails one long point. Stars.
And as long as the USPV can keep the ball alive, they are forcing the Japanese team to make mistakes. Ari Selinger coming out with a great game plan, good blocking scheme against the top Japanese hitters.
Lindsay Anderson, shank pass, and that's going to be a point. It was a freebie. It came right up to the net, and Ann Eastman crushed it. So the first timeout of the match The USPV Stars off to a good start. Game one. The Stars lead Japan by 3. The Royal Neighbors of America USPV Millennium Cup presented by Ball Girl Athletic is brought to you by Royal Neighbors of America, fraternal life insurance since 1895. By Ball Girl Athletic, maker of athletic apparel for female athletes only. And by Oldsmobile. Check us out on the web at www.oldsmobile.com. Terrific crowd on hand here at the All-State Arena. The USPV Millennium Cup. I'm Chris Marlowe. My partner is Heather Cox.
Busy week here at the All-State Arena. Had Kiss last night, Kiss the night before, hockey tomorrow, volleyball tonight.
Japan in the yellow uniforms. The USPV Stars are in blue. And Japan, like it normally does in international competition, digging well. Out of the back line, ball blocked. And stuffed, a beautiful stuffed block in the middle. Give credit to Liko Suzuki. She's 5'9½", getting up high.
She's giving hope to all of us 5'9"ers that you can still play international volleyball at that height.
8'6", Flynn. It's picked up by the libero. That's Yoshida. Suzuki is rejected. Sarah Silvernail, former Washington State star, was there. Sarah Silvernail will serve. You'll see the libero in play. One player for each squad wearing a different color uniform, and it's a designated defender and passer. The libero for Japan is wearing red right there. That is Yoshida. And the American libero is Addie Hochschild wearing white. Hochschild has been brilliant so far on tour, averaging double figures in digs. Jen Flynn out of the back line, looking for a two-pointer, and they get it. That's a two-point play for the Stars.
And I talked to Jen Flynn about the new strategy with the two-point play, and it completely changes the way that you set a game. Do you go for the tie? Do you go for the win? Also, you can set your front row players behind that 10-foot line, so it depends on how she calls her offense, what kind of points she wants to get.
11-7 United States, back set. And right there was Christy Chapman. She's a 23-year-old from Newton, Illinois, the 1998 Illinois Female Athlete of the Year, and she's good.
Well, she's playing great in front of her hometown crowd as well. She has come out and been on fire this entire week.
The Stars continue to serve. A service error there, which will cost the Stars a point. In the bronze medal match, the Stripes beat Poland and did it impressively. The hitting star was Elsa Stegman, who had 16 kills. It's a very interesting match as Japan working on the right side, and tipping it down was Yamaguchi.
Yeah, Poland is a direct opposite of this Japanese team. Poland, a very big physical team. The USPV played flawless volleyball. Elsa Stegman, a former UOP star, was exceptional.
12-9 Stars in a game to 30. Rally scoring. Point per play. They're doing this internationally now, and the USPV picking up on it, and I think collegiately we're going to see this in the next 2 years, men and women.
I agree. We saw the libero come into the men's collegiate game this year. Don't be surprised to see it come into the women's game over the next 2 years.
Trying to slam it was Flynn. Japan will play it over. 12-10 is our score. Flynn sets left. Crawford. Oh! And Therese Crawford putting a little mustard on that one.
A little thunder.
Little thunder for Therese Crawford. So the Stars now lengthen their lead, and they'll give one back. It was 13-10. Now 13-11, so you have to be a little careful on your jump serve because it will cost you a point for an error.
I talked to Coach Sellinger about that, and basically Flynn is the one that will use it the most, Silvernail as well, but they want to be careful, use it in the right times.
Trying to get off the ground on the left side is Anderson. Here she comes, and she wipes the ball, and that will cost her an error and a point.
Lindsay Anderson, a former Penn State star, played for Russ Rose, as did Bonnie Bremner, another member of the USPV team. And Christy Cochran, a lot of Nittany Lions on the squad.
Sarah Silvernail putting one away. She had 23 kills against Japan in the first match. She also had 27 kills against Poland, so she is the Stars' most lethal weapon.
Well, believe it or not, had 35 last night against her own teammates, so she is definitely getting the job done.
Timeout called. The Stars 15, Japan 12. Back to the Allstate Arena after this. Sarah Silvernail is the only woman in the USPV program that has a child. We asked her how flexible her schedule is now.
It's taken adjustment. I mean, no one's really knows how to handle this. You know, Ari's just he's never, in all his years of coaching, believe it or not, has never had a mom. So they might not have been able to make it through his program. I kind of, give myself credit for that. But I think that the first few months was pretty rough. And when Kaylee's sick, I have to stay home, and I miss practice. It doesn't matter if it's the week before we go to the Dominican. That's the way it is. So I think that people know that there's definite exceptions, and there's going to be different treatment, and they've kind of accepted that. But I also, on my end, I have to, when I'm there, I got to make sure that I block it out and, play volleyball when I'm in the gym, and on the court, I need to give that my full attention.
And little Kaylee getting ready to celebrate her second birthday this week. She's not here tonight, a touch of the flu, but we hope she feels better soon.
Game one, the United States, which was 3-0 in round-robin competition. They're getting a battle from Japan. Japan just 1-2 in preliminary competition, but they are looking good so far. That is a 2-point attack. Let's see, they give her two. Therese Crawford. And the USPV Stars are up now by 3, 18-15.
And Crawford and Silvernail will get the majority of the sets in both the front court and the back. Crawford is skying right now.
Serving is Christy Chapman. Bad pass. This is what puts Japan in a pickle. A big pickle at the net.
Pickle. That's a dill pickle.
A dill pickle for Japan.
They cannot run a sophisticated offense. The United States block is way too big to be so predictable.
And Japan calls a quick timeout.
They're sitting in the air a little bit, it's not moving.
Once again, you get the two-point play, whether you're front row player or back row from behind the 10-foot line. So anywhere behind the orange area of the court. This time it's Therese Crawford out of the pipe or middle back position.
Okay.
Therese Crawford, an amazing athlete. I remember her playing for Dave Soji in Hawaii. She touches 11 feet. That's a foot over a basketball rim, and you can see it in the way that she elevates in her approach. The key to Crawford's game, though, is to keep the consistency.
The Stars have led most of the way. The last tie was at 2-2. Japan trying to catch up. So far, the Stars have been solid. Chapman continues to serve. Cheat out of the back line, looking for a two-pointer. And this is really not Japan's strength. They have a hard time hitting from the front row, let alone the back row.
Right, it's more the former Soviet Union or some of the bigger style teams. A lot of the men's teams really use that back row attack as an offensive option.
Chapman serving again. It's 20-15. Into the middle. Ball punched up. Uchida. Backline Saito. She get over the line. It's dug up. And double contact. And they're going to rule that a two-pointer. So an uncontrolled set off the dig. And
that's
2 for Japan.
That we talked to the officials about, and that's a judgment call. They said if the second play is uncontrollable, now here's the two-point attack. If that's a shanked pass, that's definitely 2. Now here's where the judgment comes in. If an error is made on the second contact, they can still give it 2 points.
Now the officials have changed their mind. The official scorer has informed me that was just a one-pointer now. So we were correct.
And that's a good play because it was the player's fault that they doubled the ball. It wasn't because of the attacker.
21-16 Stars. Serving is Lindsay Anderson, 24-year-old from Crystal Lake, Illinois. And into the middle, the put away, Suzuki with the drive.
And that's where Suzuki and her team can be successful, beat the United States to the ball with the quickness.
Stars up by 4, out of the back line. Crawford with a little detonation. Give her 2 on the play. Boy, that two-point play is big in this format.
Watch how deep. You can't even see her in the screen. She comes again out of that pipe position. That's her favorite back row attack position. The court's really split up into 5 areas. She likes it right down the middle.
Big serve. It's coming our way. Nice play by Saito to go get it. 23-17 Stars. Flynn back line looking for another two-pointer. They get it. Wow, the Sellinger attack is working beautifully. Sarah Silvernail pounds one through.
Jen Flynn setting a great distributed offense, making it tough for the Japanese team to figure out who's going to get that ball.
Serving is Silvernail. Uchida rejected. Uchida is not big, and Eastman is. Eastman is a 6-footer, 3-time All-Big Ten Conference of the net.
It's nice to see her out here. Has been having very sore knees all week. In fact, played very little last night.
It's going to be another point. No! What a dig by Saito. Chance for a Japan point. And they do not get it. So the Stars, responding to the challenge of Japan, now lead by 10. That is their biggest. Silvernail, great pass. Uchida, Doug. Stars, back line, and this has been killing Japan. Nice dig there by Yoshida. Saito out of the back line. Jen Flynn sits left. Crawford. Saito again with a dig. Out of the back line. Tsubakimoto. No. Point. Stars.
Uncharacteristic hitting errors as the USPV Stars near match point. Now this is where it gets tricky. Does Jen Flynn go for the win, set the back row attacker, go for 2 good plays, a little bit lower risk?
In a rally scoring game to 30, this is huge. That is an ace. 29-17, and we have come to our first game point. Serving will be Silvernail, the 1996 Pac-10 Player of the Year, looking for another ace. Uchida to Suzuki. This could be it. Flynn sets left. Crawford. No, she missed it. Point, Japan. Because of rally scoring, this will be the second game point for the Stars.
And theoretically, this is the easiest time to score a point when you're receiving serve. You get the first chance at offense.
Flynn sets left. Crawford coming in, and that will do it. Therese Crawford with the kill. And game 1 is over. The Stars beat Japan in game 1, 30-18. We'll continue with our coverage of the Millennium Cup right after this. We welcome you back inside the Allstate Arena to the Royal Neighbors of America USPV Millennium Cup presented by Ball Girl Athletic. Game 1 of the first set going to the United States. Keep in mind you need to win 2 of the first 3 games to win a set. Whoever wins 2 of 3 sets wins the match. Chris Marlowe with Heather Cox. Japan, as we talked about in game 1, just overpowered by the United States and their back row attack. Silvernail is dug. Let's see how Japan plays the start of game 2. Saito has not been a big factor so far. Off the hand. Nice up by Silvernail. Crawford dug up. Yoshida, nice play there. No score. Off speed. Stars rolling. Free ball. Ushida sets left. Saito having trouble putting the ball down. Center again. No. Quick instead. And the put away. That is Mitsu Yamaguchi. She's 24 years old.
And great recognition by the setter. Ushita recognizing that Jen Flynn, the setter for the USPV, got stuck in the middle, setting to the weakness.
And Japan is going to get a 2-pointer. So that should be, and it was, 2-0 Japan. Crawford going over the top and down. That's the kind of potential she had at Hawaii. The moniker on her, great talent, sometimes a little bit erratic, but if she can learn and develop, she has a chance to have a bright future.
And check out the beautiful set. Jen Flynn delivers her a nice tight one, and Crawford can hit over any player for Japan.
Japan gets the point off the touch. Japan, most of the time, you'll see a lot of signals. This is a very organized volleyball team. A lot of the time when you see the blocker using the signals, they're telling the defenders behind them where they're going to block.
Exactly. Japan, one of the most technically sound teams in the world.
3-1 Japan, left side. Anderson, cross-court drive. Lindsay Anderson gets the kill.
And Anderson, of course, helped Penn State reach 2 NCAA championship matches. Ironically, the team won the year after she graduated, helped pave the way. And Japan making so many uncharacteristic hitting errors. I'm surprised that they haven't been a little bit more deceptive. We've talked about the quick hands of Yoshida. She has the ability to be a decoy and fake out the USPV block. So far, hasn't been able to do it.
3-3 in game 2 of the first set. The scoring is a lot like tennis in the United States Professional Volleyball League. They like the rally scoring, point on every play.
Must win 2 out of 3 sets, and we have some great tiebreakers that we'll explain when we get there. A very exciting, fun format for the fans.
Yamaguchi with the serve. Flynn sets left. Good set. And Silvernail will not be stopped. She's 27 years old now, originally from Tacoma, Washington.
And Sarah amazes me. I did so many of her collegiate games when she was playing for Cindy Frederick at Washington State, and her game continues to evolve. Her back row attack, her defense, her passing has just gotten better every single time I've seen her.
4-4 is our score. Coming over the net, and Ann Eastman whacks it.
Ann Eastman certainly playing in front of a hometown crowd. Grew up in Chicago, Illinois, just minutes here from Rosemont.
Worked recently for the Chicago Board of Options, which I guess means she's involved in the stock market. I'm going to ask her for some tips. You could use some blocking tips, Heather. I need some stock market tips. Here's Flynn, back set, is that legal? Yes, it is. 5-4 Stars, back set for Bakimoto, and Japan having trouble killing the ball against the bigger Stars block. Set left, here goes Kozume, she's dug. Out of the back line, here comes Crawford, and she hit it out. So missing the opportunity, the score is tied at 5.
And interesting, Sue Bakimoto changing, going all the way back to the end line. A deep floater, so hard to pass, especially with that roundhouse arm swing.
Left side, down the line, the put away for Sarah Silvernail. A middle blocker at Washington State has since been converted. Ari Sellinger turning her into a left side player, and she can hit the ball.
And that's a great move. She was also a left side player for Mick Haley, training with the U.S. national team. Decided to leave that team when she became pregnant. Now a mother of an almost 2-year-old baby girl named Kaylee.
Good shot of Dr. Ari Sellinger. His #1 assistant is Satoshi Matsunaga. Ping Chao also on the staff, former Chinese Olympian. Japan trying to kill it, and they do. The captain, Liko Suzuki, with a little thunder.
And that's the game Masada wants to see his team play, is use the hands of the block. He doesn't want to hit down into the block, but tool off of the hands.
Japan has regained the lead at 7-6. Jen Flynn, a little mix up there. Ball popped up, heading left side for Saito. Nice dig by Crawford, looking for the 2-ball. Crawford delivers.
Therese Crawford just lighting it up, and I love the maturity that we're seeing after making a hitting error. Just goes for it, doesn't lose any of that aggressive spirit, and Crawford has a perfect arm swing.
4 kills, 3 two-point plays for Therese Crawford. 8-8 game 2. The USPV Stars won the first game, 30-18. That serve is out of bounds.
No, nothing with the ball tipped. Don't try to hit it.
Sellinger started with the United States, then coached the Dutch men in 2 Olympics. Ended up rising up in 1996. And you cannot block over the net. Getting a little anxious was Christy Chapman.
Chapman must allow the Japanese setter Yoshita to attempt to set the ball. She cannot attack it until it crosses the plane of the net.
Good serve. Flynn sets left. Crawford is rejected. Okay, Crawford hits better out of the back line than she does out of the front line.
I
Nice
agree
play.
with you. I say go to Silvernail in the backcourt right now.
10-9. And the put away. Talking about Ari Sellinger, coached the Dutch to 2 Olympics. First time around did not get in the medal round. The second Olympics, the Dutch got the silver medal.
Amazing.
Then went off to Japan to coach Dai, the Japanese club team, the best club team in Japan, and spent 10 years there before returning home here to the United States.
And Ari Sellinger is the only coach in the world to take both a men's and women's team to the gold medal rounds in the Olympics.
11-10 Stars. Off the hands. Flynn sets left. Crawford. She buries it cross court, and it's dug. Saito could not control it. Japan blockers are small, but they go up with the intent to stuff. They jump high and they do a lot of swing blocking and try to get their hands over. If they get one, if you try to sizzle their pits, they'll get it. And go high and over if you can. X-play, nice dig. 12-10 Stars. Right side off speed. And it's going to result in a point.
And
nice
that's
shot.
exactly, Chris, what the Japanese team must continue to do. Run the decoys, the deception plays that they've been famous for 30 or 40 years.
Those deception plays invented in the early 60s to combat the taller, larger Soviet Union players. They had to have deception. They could not compete physically. Out of the back line, Saito is roofed. Oh, no for Saito.
Saito is one of the best players in the world, was certainly at her prime, and I almost get the impression that she's a little physically fatigued. This has been a rough week, followed by an intensely long season for this Japanese team.
Many of the Japanese players start at a very young age, so some of them are burned out by the age of 25. 13-11 Stars. Ball punched up. Flynn sets left. Silvernail down the line. Looking for a 2-pointer. And the free ball. Flynn looking for a 2-point play. She gets it. Number 16 in blue, Therese Crawford again.
Ari Sellinger has said of Therese Crawford that she jumps like Rita Crockett. And if you're an old volleyball fan, you know that that is one of the greatest compliments a coach can give you.
Rita, a 1984 Olympian, along with Flo Hyman, and she has led her team to a 15-11 lead. We're in game 2. The Stars are rolling. Sarah Silvernail with 8 kills from the left side. Led Washington State into the Elite 8 back in 1996. You know, Ari Sellinger, born in Poland in 1937. His family was separated by the Nazis in 1942. Ari and his mother were sent to a concentration camp until they were rescued by the Americans. He went to Israel and worked his way up as a volleyball player, becoming a member of the Israeli national team. And in 1975, coming to the United States and being named coach of the USA Women. And in 8 years, he accomplished more than any other USA women's coach in history. In 1980, the USA would have won a gold medal had there not been a boycott, and then the resulting silver to the Chinese in 1984 when the team was just a little past its prime.
Well, and it's amazing to watch Sellinger and know that his childhood was all about survival, and he has just endured and become one of the best coaches in the world.
This is game 2, and it's a battle, 26-24. The USPV Stars, one of 2 teams. The Stripes got the bronze. The Stars looking for the gold. Serving is Lindsay Anderson. And there's a shank pass. Whoa, you won't see that much.
Very much.
Tsubaki Moto in the shank tank.
Wow, Anderson with the deep floater. You know, that's a harder ball to receive than it looks. You can see with the colored panels how much it floats. Watch the movement. No movement on that ball.
A wicked floater there. Suzuki around the corner. Chance for another point, maybe 2. They're going for 2. Crawford. Not yet. Japan digs it. Suzuki into the middle. And she puts it away. There's a big play for Japan. Had to have that one if Japan wants to hang in the second game.
Yeah, the ability to dig the 2 ball out of the backcourt and neutralize Crawford is huge for Japan. Like to see them use the 2 ball a little bit more late in this game.
It's a 2-point lead. Silvernail. They're just not big enough to handle her.
No, when you look at the setter, number 14, Yoshida, she is 5'6", and she is matched up in 2 out of 3 rotations with Silvernail. You see Silvernail drills right over the top of the Japanese block.
Silvernail 6'2" on a big hair day with the pigtails flying, and she is tearing up Japan right now. Suzuki is blocked. The Americans 2 points away from victory. They could actually win the game on this play if they could get a 2 ball. Crawford going for it, couldn't get it. Silvernail looking for the win. Not yet. Japan, great dig in the backcourt by Tsubaki Moto. Another chance for the win with a 2 ball. Silvernail, you can't dink on Japan. They'll get every one of those. Saito takes a rip. 28-25, set left. Crawford, oh, and Crawford buries it. Crowd likes that kind of action.
This is a great scoring rotation for the United States. Crawford in the front court, Silvernail in the back with the jumper.
Second game point for the Stars. Suzuki, this could be it. All they need is a point. They go to Crawford, she's on the run. Didn't get much of approach, backing out again. Out of the back line, Silvernail for the win, and she has got it. So the Stars win game 1 30-18. They win game 2 30-25. The Stars have now won a set But now keep in mind, it's the best 2 out of 3 sets to win a match. We'll continue the Stars and Japan. More after this. We're back at the All-State Arena for the Royal Neighbors of America USPV Millennium Cup, presented by Ball Girl Athletic. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Marlowe with Heather Cox. A dominating performance for the Stars in the first 2 games, winning easily. Stars just able to overpower Japan.
Well, they've got the height, they've got the power, and at the net, they're dominating. Plus, I think the United States is using the 2-ball a lot more than the Japanese team. Also, Japan not doing what they're good at, and that's the combo plays, running a very sophisticated offense. Look for them to do that more in the second set.
Interesting story. Bill and Kelly Kennedy. Bill is the father and the founder of the USPV. Kelly is the daughter and a player on the Stripes team. A little earlier, we asked them about the impact of the USPV on their lives.
Have you ever had a tall daughter with poor self-esteem? Many Americans do. And sports, volleyball sports, can bring women, young girls, great self-esteem. And we believe that starting the Professional Volleyball League and taking a number of young girls across this country who are tall and bring them to the heights that they can be at has been a great experience.
Kelly, what does it mean to you, not only as a daughter, but as a young woman trying to find herself? How much does it mean to you to have a professional league to play in?
It's great having the United States Professional Volleyball League. I know everyone on the team is very thankful for it. I talk to little girls, excuse me, every day after the games, and they're very excited about the league and want to be in it someday. And it's really nice to see that there's something starting up in the United States where volleyball actually originated.
So exciting to see Bill Kennedy's dreams really turning into reality here today. This has been an amazing day for the Kennedy family and the entire USPV.
The first set stats, the Stars out killing and out blocking Japan.
The block has been huge. Japan not known for scoring points on its block, but it needs to get a few more touches. Also, what the USPV has done so well that shows up in the stats and the lack of kills is they have been able to control Saito. They have really neutralized her, taken away the line, and that's the reason for the first 2 wins.
Pretty good serving ratio by the Stars, too. They have 3 aces and just 6 errors, and that's good. So the Stars set Therese Crawford. There's only one woman in the world that can hit that angle, and she plays for Cuba. Her name is Maria Luis. That's the kind of talent that Therese Crawford has when she's on. She just can't do it all the time. Exactly. But for one hit, she's as good as anybody in the world. Stars get off to a good start. Remember, you have to win 2 of 3 sets in the USPV format to win the match. So the Stars are up 1-0, and that's going to be a point for Japan. What does Japan need to do to get going?
Well, I think one thing they have to do is get Saito a little bit more involved in the offense. The USPV has taken her line away, so she needs to start varying her shots a little bit. Also, they have to defend the back row attack.
Well, if anybody knows Mayumi Saito, it's Ari Salinger, the man who coached her for the Daiei club team for all those years. He knows her strengths and weaknesses, and now interestingly, Ari back in the United States and coaching against 2 of his former players.
Yeah,
there's one now.
Saito, but also Sui Bakimoto is a former player of Salinger's as well, so he has scouted this team so well. And you know, Ari coached professionally in Japan for many, many years, so he knows this personnel like the back of his hand.
Absolutely. 3-2 Stars. They'll set left Silvernail. They haven't stopped her yet. They try to dig her. Big hitting will overpower great digging most of the time, wouldn't you say?
Most of the time, definitely. The numbers are in the favor of the USPV. In fact, when I talked to Coach Selinger this morning, he said if we can keep up with Japan's skill, our height should dominate.
Uchida back set. Slam dink for number 11, Sane Subakimoto. She had 15 digs to lead the team in a previous match against Poland. And now
Selinger
she will serve.
Has said that she is one of the most physically gifted athletes he's ever worked with.
Crawford tripped a bit. Here comes Japan looking for a point. They're going for a 2-point play, and they are going to get it. A 2-pointer. Haven't seen a lot of that from Japan. Saito can do it. I think they need to try it more. Japan has its first lead, 5-4, Silvernail. Wow, a rocket.
And you know what's interesting about Silvernail's arm swing is it looks like a middle blocker's arm swing. Watch the way her shoulder's very low. It's a lot like people hit on a quick attack, but she gets a lot more power because of it.
You got to move the block out on her because I don't think she can hit this shot, a cross-court crank like Crawford.
Right, and she doesn't hit very high, so if you penetrate and get low and take away that seam, you might be able to find a way to stop Sarah Silvernail.
10 kills for the Nail. Serving is Anderson. Uchida into the middle. Nice dig by Crawford. Calling for the 2-point play. No, they go back set for a 2-pointer. Japan has it easily. You got to put some power on the 2-pointer to get it by the Japanese diggers. Here comes Silvernail. And she whacks another one. Kill number 11. If you're new to volleyball, a kill is just a successful spike. And in rally scoring format, you get a kill, you get a point. 7-5 Stars. We're in the second set, game 1. Stars won the first. Tsubakimoto. Saito. Silvernail is dug. Nice play by Yoshida. And that ball goes down. Number 23 got it. Jen Flynn. She's only 5'9". She doesn't block all that many.
And look for her to get fired up. We talked to Jen Flynn about her ability to block, and that is the one skill that she says fires up her game more than any other.
8-5. Japan may be running out of gas a little bit here. Silvernail tapping, tapping, tapping.
And that's just veteran savvy right there. Showing cross court and a little whip. Watch Sarah's shoulder. It shows sharp cross court at the last minute. Just a roll shot over the left shoulder.
Timeout Japan as they fall behind by 4. Interestingly, we had a chance to talk to Ari Salinger today, and we said, what are you working on mostly with these young players, these future pros? And he said, Chris and Heather, the fundamentals. Before we can teach them strategy, we must teach the fundamentals.
And I said, any specific fundamentals? And he said, all of them. I have started fresh with these 25 players because before we teach those tactics, we have got to get the fundamentals down the way that I think they need to do it to be successful. And boy, I have been impressed with what I've seen so far with Salinger working with these 25 athletes.
We're at the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois. Professional women's volleyball is coming, folks, in January of 2001. This is the pre-Olympic warm-up format.
Yeah, they're talking about, it's interesting, they're doing it in phases. They're starting with the Midwest, going to 10 cities. Bill Kennedy calls it sort of a grassroots plan. They're going to Minnesota, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Omaha. A lot of teams, a lot of cities that like their volleyball in the Midwest. A lot of individual sponsorship deals, a lot of backing involved right now. A lot of people getting involved in the success of the USPV.
10-6. Silvernail. That's good. Off the net is good. The new let serve rule. And the ball spiked out of bounds. You like the let serve rule?
I love it in the indoor game. We've seen it translate to the beach as well this year. I like it in the 6-person game because there are people that are covering the area of the court and they can play that ball up.
On the beach, it's sudden death. That ball hits the net and the
goner.
two players are frozen. Uchida tries to snap it down. Stars have momentum. Looking for another point. Crawford goes over the top. Kind of interesting, they're blocking Crawford better on the left than they do Silvernail. Left side, here comes Saito. Nice! Up, sliding was Anderson. Eastman takes a whack at it. Japan on the move. Uchida sets left. Saito. Hochschild humming! She can't get there. Into the ball girl banner.
But how about the hustle of Addie Hochschild? You look at her, she's 6'2". The libero, former from University of the Pacific. Watch the hustle, and remember, she was an All-American as a middle blocker. That usually doesn't translate. Middle blocker to libero.
She's a tall libero, that's for sure. Hochschild at 6'2". Did you say that?
I did.
She's a
it's
big.
worth repeating.
Yeah, absolutely. 11-7. Japan trying to fight back. Saito. Oh, and the husband and wife play of no communication rears its ugly head in professional volleyball. Hochschild And Crawford, I got it, you take it. Japan pulls to within 3, down 11-8. Silvernail ba-booms one. That's going to be a 2-pointer.
Hello.
Wow, she has got some heavy heat.
Playing in front of her mom, her daughter, her friends, and she is fired up. She has carried the majority of this load. In fact, I think she and Crawford have been almost more effective out of the backcourt for their team.
The one player in the USPV program that does have a child is Sarah Silvernail.
In fact, Ari Sellinger, this is the first time he has ever coached a player that's had a child. Out of all the professional coaching that Ari's done, amazing that Sarah is the first mom.
13-8, the team in blue has dominated. Japan trying to hang in, but they're just not physical enough. Spinning a little bit there. A little confusion in the Stars backcourt. Wide open. Nice up. Anderson. Flynn pokes it. Hochschild over. Japan getting a little of its own medicine. Some defense. Tip. Anderson can't get there. You know, one thing that I've really noticed about the Stars is their defense has really improved. You see individual plays that we didn't see from college players when they were playing in college. Look at them go now.
I so agree, and the reason why is the coaching staff, and it's not only Ari, it's the assistants. Satoshi Matsunaga, Ping Chao, and Indo have all been incredible influences defensively on this squad, and that's been something that they have focused on since day one.
Ari Sellinger's squad ahead 14-9. Chance for another point here. Americans playing some defense in form of the USPV Stars. You don't think of American-based teams as great defensive teams, but this team has been getting its digs in. And there is a technical timeout. Silvernail may have banged her elbow on the sport court. She's from the Palouse, though. She'll shake it off.
She's a tough one.
15-9 at the technical timeout. This would really hurt the Stars if Sarah Silvernail cannot continue. We'll get a report on her condition. We're coming back. 15-10 Stars. The Stars star, Sarah Silvernail, tweaked her elbow. Did she wrench it? Looks like she wrenched it. She didn't bang it, Heather.
Yeah, in the collision, looks like she wrenched it a little bit more, that right elbow. We'll have to see how it affects her. That's her swinging arm.
She's number 4. She stays in. Saito takes a whack at it. Stars leading by 5 over Japan. And the put away, number 11, Sane Tsubakimoto, firing it down. She had a solid match against the Stars first time around. She had 10 kills, hit 280.
And I like Tsubakimoto's game. She's really picking up the slack with Saito not playing her typical great play. Tsubakimoto is definitely helping out.
Pretty good pass there. Flynn left side. Silvernail got a little mustard on it. She was dug. And Koizumi is rejected.
And Chapman came out and had an incredible game one blocking wise, and she's continued that here in the first game of the second set. She has been a force at the net. Japan much too predictable setting to the outside.
Crawford continues to serve 16-11. Slam dink dug up. Silvernail spinner. Uchida back set and down the line off the arm of Hochschild. So Japan trying to catch up, trailing 16-12. See the blockers giving their signals, usually 1 or 2.
Yeah, that 2 means I'm taking angle most of the time.
Shank pass, free ball for Japan. Good idea, is that in? Nice play. Uchida. Out of the back line, here comes Crawford. Nice dig by Japan, Saito got it up. Crawford, another dig by Saito. She's calling for the 2-point play. No, they give it left side. Why are they setting Koizumi that much? She doesn't look like she's got heat. There's a woman who's got some heat. Sarah Silvernail, the first spike down since the elbow.
I'd say it's safe to say that elbow is doing just fine. Probably hurt once you stop playing, but you know, a lot of times the injuries, when you've got that adrenaline going, you can get through to the end of the match, then you've got to ice and stem and take care of it later.
Silvernail, one of the mainstays of the star unit, now serving is Christy Chapman. You know, Heather, one of the reasons many people are enthusiastic about the future of the USPV is that volleyball is the #1 ranked participant sport for women in the United States. It's #2 after basketball as the largest participation sport in the United States. So it's clear that there are many young women out there who love to play volleyball, and a lot of people like to watch it.
Well, and what's so exciting about this league is that the USPV is actually the first professional sport in the history of sport to have a women's league debut before the men, and that's just a direct reflection of how big the women's game is at the junior and high school level.
Japan making a substitution, and coming into the match for the first time, as you look at the numbers for Crawford, is Masai Hilea. Masai Hilea, she's a setter. At least she's listed as a setter. Let's see what she can do. Out of the back line, the ball hit out of bounds, point Stars. If you look closely at the Japanese jerseys, you see H-I-R-A-I in Japanese. R's are pronounced L's, and thus the pronunciation Hilea. 20-14, and off of the Stars block, that is Keisha Johnson-Demps in for the first time, the former star out of Arizona.
Played for Dave Rubio as a Wildcat.
Yeah, player with some nice potential, hitting and blocking wise. And coming around the horn is Demps. Led the Cats in hitting, blocking, hitting percentage, and digs.
Keisha Johnson-Demps, the only married player on this USPV team, married to Thomas Demps. Don't have any kids, but have a brand new boxer named Zeus.
Oh, I love boxers. Silvernail, United. And down the line, good shot. So both teams substituting on the fly now. Kanako Abe is in. She is the tallest player on the Japanese roster. Can you believe that the tallest player on the roster is only 5'11"?
I think I'm going to go sign up and play for Japan. I'd be tall.
Yeah. The put away. And we're going to have another substitution. Coming in is Jamie Lee. So Ari Sellinger leading this match 1-0, and up big here in game 1 of set 2 is clearing his bench.
Jamie Lee, a former great setter out of Notre Dame.
Cross court, good shot. That is Abe. She's 20 years old, one of the youngsters. They have 6 players who are 19 on this squad, so part of the future of the Japanese national team on this squad. 23-17, here comes Crawford. And they know Crawford likes to bury that cross-court crank, and they have moved in.
Right, I think if you're Crawford, what you need to do is show them that you can hit line, make them appreciate your versatility.
23-18 as Japan tries to catch up. Good pass by Hochschild. Silvernail dug up. Out of the back line, looking for a 2, no. So Japan, interestingly, starting to take some chances now with that 2-point play.
Well, I think that's what you need to do is utilize the scoring format to your benefit. When you're behind by this much, the only way you can come back, it's like shooting threes at the end of a basketball game, is to go for those 2-point attempts.
Jamie Lee from Notre Dame with the serve. Nice block Was that Anderson? Anderson got it. Also there was Chapman, so that's 6-1 and 6-2.
And that's a big block. Good lateral movement. You can see the penetration that time. The pressing with the forearms gets the block.
25-18. Stars taking it to Japan. And another whack. That one's out of bounds. So the Stars are manhandling Japan. This is a huge lead in rally scoring. Once again, the game to 30 points. Lee continues to serve. She's not hitting it hard, but she's getting some points. Could be another point. Nice pass by Hochschild. Little pinball defense. Cha-ching. Lee holds it up and sets it down. Before we go too far with Jamie Lee as the setter, how about credit for Jen Flynn, who ran the attack beautifully. Lee replacing Flynn, the Ohio State star. And now she gets her chance. And she continues to serve. Japan passing perfectly, but they have no heat. No big whip, no Heather Cox to whack that ball to the floor. Here comes Crawford. And Crawford takes some advice, hits some line, baby.
Come on, Therese, give me some lessons. Right up and over. Watch the elevation. Doesn't matter how big that block is, she hits right over the top of it.
You know, it says in the press guide she can jump 11 feet. Not quite. We asked her today. She thought she could jump about 10-9, but she hasn't been tested lately. That one she looked like she was
high,
up.
you can't even measure it anymore. Who cares?
Bullet, Doug. Silvernail got it. Hochschild whacks it over. 28-18. Stars by 10. Two-pointer. And going is Hochschild. She's going into the banner again. Not quite. The last time it was in the ball girl banner. Hochschild heading for the USPV. Banner couldn't quite get there.
Addie has a little sister, Megan, current setter at the University of the Pacific, so certainly a family tradition to be a Tiger.
Pacific making it to the national semifinals this time around. Just couldn't quite get over the hump and get into that final match. Right side, big hit. Ball dug up. That was number 1, Molly Stark, who's in for the first time. Right side, Japan. Bet on Japan to dig a lot. Back over the net. Coming right back at you. Set high left. Here comes Anderson. Cross-court drive, Doug. Hochschild scoops it up. Left side, here comes Anderson again, and she puts it away. Wow, I didn't think Lindsay Anderson had that shot.
She's got the heat. Normally plays on the right side of the court, showing her versatility, cranking from the outside. Great job dropping the shoulder.
You don't hit many of them straight down in the orange. And now the Stars have their first game point. Serving is Stark. Out of the back line, this could be it. Set left, Silvernail. Whacks it. Dug up by Saito. Here comes Koizumi. And she gets the touch. There's a touch on the Stars. I think Anderson got a pinky. Never do your nails before a volleyball match. Get some of that residue. So Japan trying to call a play that will result in a point. A block or a dig. Anderson with some tunder. She's hitting well. And that will do it. Remember, in rally scoring, you can score when the other team serves or when you serve. And the Stars are dominating Japan, leading 1-0 and 1-0 in set number 2. Therese Crawford is a terrific outside hitter. She's also a special person. We asked her about her involvement in a foundation headed up by one of the New York Yankees' biggest stars.
I'm a mentor for the Derek Jeter Turn 2 Foundation, and what that program does is just
finds people from the community who have succeeded in athletics. All of us have played athletics before and have gone on to college and continuing to either play professionally or do other career jobs. And so we're just mentors to the community and to the younger children, letting them know that they can succeed, and people from our hometown have succeeded.
And Crawford's really been active in all areas of community service. As a player in Hawaii, was very active there, and now as a pro athlete, doing everything she can to be a mentor.
The Stars need to win one more game, and they win this match. It's going to take a tremendous rally for Japan to come back. So here we go. Therese Crawford has been one of the hitting stars for the Stars. Can you say that? A star for the Stars? I guess you can. Crawford and Sarah Silvernail have done most of the damage. Jen Flynn set. Now she's being replaced by Jamie Lee, so the second setter is in. This is number 14, Yukiko Uchida, who's back in there as the starting setter. The change of setters did not work for Japan. Here comes Silvernail, and she rockets one, and that is a two-pointer. If you just joined us in USPV format, the professional league format, if you spike a ball out of the back line, anytime on any play, you get 2 points if it's a successful kill. And the Stars have been utilizing that and getting a lot of mileage out of it. That ball tipped down. And a point.
Yeah, and Saito is starting to show her versatility, being a little bit more deceptive. They shut her down early by taking away the line shot. Now she's having to go to the tip.
Thought Saito would be a much more effective hitter in this one, Heather. She only has 7 kills. She's hitting -80 with 25 attacks, so looking a bit fatigued.
Well, I think the pressure of a very long season in Japan, followed by a long trip over here, and then instantly getting into a round-robin style format has just killed the legs.
Yeah, Japan to Chicago, that's not exactly a puddle jumper. In terms of flight time, Saito, nice dig by Crawford. Here she comes. Oh, she could have taken a whack at that, and she should have. That's the kind of play that Ari Salinger will spruce up for his team and get Crawford to be aggressive. We'll be back in a minute. The Royal Neighbors of America USPV Millennium Cup presented by Ball Girl Athletic is brought to you by Royal Neighbors of America, fraternal life insurance since 1895. By Ball Girl Athletic. See what you've been missing at www.ballgirl.com. And by Oldsmobile. Check us out on the web at www.oldsmobile.com. The founder of the USPV, the United States Professional Volleyball League, there's the man who had the idea, Bill Kennedy, the founder and chairman. And what a job he has done organizing his forces in creation of this league.
Yeah, this has been a dream of Bill since 1993. He debuted the league in September of '98, and this is a long time coming for Bill and Patty Kennedy. What an amazing job they have done making a league available for professional athletes, for women professional athletes. You can't say enough about it.
Going to start up next year, January of 2001. 8 teams, and the 25 players in the system will be the basis. There will be a draft, but there will be 3 players per team, 3 of the pros. And then I'm assuming that they will draft college players and maybe have a foreign player or two. I'm not sure about that.
No, they definitely are looking at collegiate players. Inaugural draft taking place over the summer. We talked about some of the cities they're looking at: Omaha, Detroit, Louisville, Cincinnati, Chicago, Columbus, Milwaukee, Minneapolis. It goes on and on.
There you go.
They'll be everywhere.
Everybody looking for franchises.
Check your local listing.
16-9. It's been all stars. Japan has looked weary and demoralized, and they're going to call that one. Patty Salvatore is a good referee, but she had just seen enough of the 3-fingered bandit there. Maybe one time setting it to the outside. That time it was called a lift. 16-10 is our score. And Silvernail, wow, she was right on the back of Demps, who thought she was getting it.
Yeah, that's a page out of the Japanese offensive playbook, running the double quick.
Ostrow, nice pass. And Japan starting to get a little momentum here. Yeah. Into the middle. Liko Suzuki gets the kill. Suzuki now with 8 kills. And Japan, I think the Stars have let down just a bit. Silvernail. That might have been the hardest hit
That's a heavy
of
shoulder.
the match.
You know,
Wow.
Chris, I have a question for you though.
Yes.
Why is Japan serving Addie Hochschild every single ball? She's the libero. She's in a different colored jersey. The reason she's out there is to pass and dig, so keep the ball away.
There's an ace. Jennifer Wrightson in for the first time. Wrightson, a captain of the Dream Team, 1994 West Coast Conference Player of the Year. Had a nice chat with her in the hotel.
Actually, I spent some time coaching. Coached for 2 years, University of Toledo, also at University of San Diego.
Step in. There's one of those trick plays we were talking about at the top of the show that Japan used to fool the bigger Soviets. Player goes in, looks like she's going to hit a 3, jukes in for the 1, and beats the block.
Yeah, it's a first tempo attack, turns into a second tempo attack. They haven't used it enough, in my opinion, tonight.
Silvernail off speed, 19-13. This game is not out of reach for Japan if they can get some termination power. Out of the back line, here comes Crawford, and she wails it out of bounds. If Ari Salinger can ever get Therese Crawford under control, if he can make her under control in the next year, I predict she would be the first draft choice in this league if they split up the players.
We're going to write that one down. We'll check
Write
back
it down
in a year.
right now.
You know who Therese Crawford reminds me quite a bit of is Elaine Youngs in her younger days at
Yep.
UCLA. One of the most powerful attackers I've ever faced, but could pound it down the line and just miss by an inch. And there's Silvernail missing by an inch on the dig.
Here comes Crawford. Ball popped up. I don't think Japan touched it. They're saying they didn't touch it. Ooh, that was ugly. And now the Japanese players, will they complain? Let's see. No, they're going to switch setters. Masai Hilea is going to come back in, replacing Tsubaki Moto. So actually, Hilea is going to go in and play in the back line. Also in his start for the I keep wanting to call them the United States. It's not. It's the USPV Stars, representing the United States. It's an American group of players. Was there a touch? Stars get a point. 21-15 now, just 9 points away from wrapping up the match and winning $25,000. Back set, could be another point. Silvernail pops it up. Silvernail, here she comes. Oh, great dig in the backcourt by number 8, Saito. Got to really whack it. Saito there again. Setter. Set left side coming in. Wow, number 18 is just whacking away. She has no idea where it's going. Kanako Abe.
Well, I love it. She's a young gun. She's only 20, and she's a rookie out there. She's doing everything she can to keep her spot.
Reminds me of another young, wild lefty that used to play at Pacific, now broadcasting this match. Heather the Wild Thing Cox.
Wish I could still swing a little.
Bill Kennedy in the cowboy hat. Bob McAuliffe, the president of the USPV. And together, they make a pretty good team. That's kind of the dream team executive branch of the professional league.
We're seeing tonight is because of these two men and the dreams that they had about 7 years ago. This all started. These two go a long way back, a good history and a great partnership.
McAuliffe needs a cowboy hat, though, don't you think?
We got the preppy and the cowboy.
The Stars really have shined tonight. I hate to say that, but they have. It's been all USPV.
And this is a very excited USPV squad of 25. They have a week off for the first time since they started training over a year ago. So these players, this is the culmination of a year of very hard work.
USPV training about 6 hours a day. They go 3 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. Abe puts it away. Interestingly, Ari Salinger told me that when he first went to Japan to coach, he was coaching and training his players 4 or 5 hours a day, but the Japanese hierarchy said, look, you must practice more than that. We're used to practicing 8 hours a day. So he actually started training his players even more than that.
Ari known as one of the toughest trainers in the world. In fact, a lot of these players I talked to at the end of their college season in December, and they said, yeah, I'm going to play for the USPV. I'm playing for Ari, and I'm scared to death.
He is certainly one of the big draws, having him on your side and able to work with the master. Out of the back line, Silvernail. Let's check the stats on Sarah Silvernail. She has 19 kills now. How many two-point plays does she have? Do we know? 5. No, make that 6 two-point plays now for Sarah Silvernail. That's amazing. 25-17. The Stars closing in on a big win. Abe finally finds an opening. Abe, a youngster for Japan, trying to harness her potential.
And this time, Hilaya is getting the setting duties, going with a little bit of a mix-up, making it tougher for the USPV block to read.
Silvernail again. Let's see if that's a two-pointer. It is.
So they are going for the gusto rather than going 1 by 1. They want to go 2 by 2 to get to 30.
A major difference between the Stars and Japan. Physical power and presence, and the utilization of the two-point play.
You can tell this is a squad that has been practicing with this scoring format for months. They are very comfortable in system with that back row two-point play.
Yeah, in fairness to Japan, these are rules that they do not play under in their home country. And so it takes a little while to get used to. And they're getting used to it the hard way. They're taking their lumps. Abe with a drive. And that's out of bounds. And now, match point is coming up. The arena stands. The server will be Molly Stark. 29-18. $25,000 to the winning team. Left side, Saito is roofed. And that will do it. The Stars win the inaugural USPV Millennium Cup, and they win it impressively. Welcome back to the All-State Arena here in Rosemont, Illinois. The Stars have defeated Japan 2-0. Sarah Silvernail, Therese Crawford, Ari Sellinger standing by with Heather Cox. Heather?
Thanks, Chris. Sarah, congratulations. Now, after practicing 5 hours a day for months on end with no competition, how rewarding is it to finally be able to compete for the Millennium Cup?
Well, this has been our main goal for a year now, so for it to finally be here and for us to do it as successfully as we did, there's nothing more rewarding.
For a lot of players, especially coming right out of college, Therese, it's amazing that this dream has finally turned into a reality.
It really is. A year ago, I wasn't playing volleyball. I didn't know how I was going to. And now with the opportunity a year later to be winning the Millennium Cup in a professional league in the United States, it's amazing.
And head coach Ari Sellinger, certainly a big reason for the win. Now, how important is this win to the overall success of the league?
Well, it was a good final. Both matches were high-level matches. Seems like the public like us, and the public is waiting for us to come back again.
To all of you, congratulations on an incredible performance. The USPV Stars have gone undefeated 4-0 to capture the first ever Millennium Cup trophy. Chris, back to you.
The final match stats for the USPV Millennium Cup. The Stars overpowered Japan 40 kills to 34, 20 blocks to 7. That was the story of this one. A very impressive showing by the United States Professional Volleyball League. The Stars win. They get the gold medal and split $25,000. Japan gets the silver, $15,000. The Stripes receive the bronze, $10,000. Poland finishes fourth. Once again, our final score, the Stars beat Japan and do it impressively, 2-0. For Heather Cox and the rest of our ESPN crew, I'm Chris Marlowe. So long from the All-State Arena in Rosemont, Illinois.